Well, welcome everybody to the Just Add Bourbon podcast. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr, and that guy right there. I love it. It's another beautiful Sunday evening here in the hills of Eastern Kentucky, but it is beautiful, JD, because we're in Eastern Kentucky and we're live. But it is raining cats and dogs right now. But before we went on, JD and I's phones were just blowing up with a flood warning.
Apparently, they're trying to contact me about my car's extended warranty, too, because my home phone never rings, and here it is.
No, so it's crazy. I mean, it is. It's really raining. The creeks are up. They were up yesterday, and things kind of, I guess, settled down a bit, quit raining, so they ran out a bit. And a good thing they did, because if they hadn't, we'd be having some serious flood issues. So if there's anybody out there, especially where we live here in Martin County or really anywhere, make sure you're checking the creek levels and stay safe, because it is absolutely pouring the rain and the creeks are getting big out there.
Yeah, I was out earlier today, man. Like our river comes up quick too, man. This Tug River, like it's down and all of a sudden it is up and we're in trouble. Like, so you guys stay safe on the roads, turn around, don't drown, man. That's all,
Right. So guys, first thing we want to do before JD and I jump into the show is we want to give a shout out to our guy, Eric Beaudry. Eric let JD and I know this week that he could no longer kind of handle the social media responsibilities for the podcast. And JD, I just wanted to say thanks, because Eric's been a big part of our team as we've built this, kind of got us to the level where we are now, and almost, kind of helped jump us in the northeast part of the country. Where a lot of our listeners are. And so just wanted to say thank you to Eric, and we appreciate everything that he's done for us.
Much love to you, Eric, man. I understand you got to step away at school. We appreciate you. No hard feelings. We love you. And when you come back down, I'm still going to get you drunk.
Well, I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at one bit. But no, we do. We appreciate it, Eric. And JD's going to handle the social media going forward. So when it starts to suck, you'll know why. We just wanted to make sure.
That's fair.
Yeah, JD's like, okay, no. But no, Eric, if you're watching or if you're listening to this actually in your car, man, we appreciate you and appreciate everything you've done. And JD, the second thing I really want to talk about is my sister, Tiffany. Her birthday is today. She claims she's 39 years old, so we'll go with that.
He is wrong, brother.
Yeah, well, that's what she's claiming. I'm going to give it to her. She
okay. Since I'm scared of her, I will too.
Yeah, well, me too. Why do you think I'm saying it? I wasn't going to say it out loud. That she is. They say dynamite comes in small packages. They ain't lying. But no, happy birthday to my sister, Tiffany. She is 100% my best friend. I don't know. I just wish her happy birthday. We've always been tight. Actually just left her and Brad's house, had some pizza and some cake for her birthday. And so shout out to my sister, Tiff. And JD, would you like to sing to her? I know, you ended us with karaoke.
No, I would not. Well, happy birthday, you, Tiff. Many more. You're an awesome person. You always have been. I've always considered you a good friend from middle school to now, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, and
your husband's not bad either.
Yeah, and JD, he ain't a bad fella. He ain't bad. And JD, we got some exciting news, man, for the Just Add Bourbon podcast. Kind of finalized the deal this week. So JD, why don't you lay it on the people?
So it is going down April 23rd at the Roy F. Collier Community Center. Donnie Baker is coming to town. It's official. The letters are signed. The checks have been wrote. He's coming. We're going to have a blast of a time. I'm going to MC. Got your boy here MCing. We got a friend of the podcast coming, Chris Abels, who was on our show with us, coming. He's a funny guy, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of F-bombs said that night. So make sure if you come in, be ready to laugh and be offended and have a good time. So we're going to have a really, really good time. I'm excited for it, Jimmy John. I'm really got Johnny Lee Miller coming with Chris. Johnny Lee was a radio DJ up in Parkersburg, West Virginia. He does a lot of singing songs, like comedy songs, and he's a hilarious guy. And, man, we're just going to get it on. It's going to be a good night. And I'm ready, baby. Donnie Baker, the pork pistol leader. I don't know.
Well, when, we got JD and I got the video promo, to start dropping this week. Tickets will go on sale next Friday, and we'll be teasing it all week. through the Just Add Bourbon podcast website and the Roy F. Collier Community Center website. And tickets will go on sale next Friday. And I think what were tickets? $30 plus there's a handling fee. And we've been working it out with them. And like, if we sell all those tickets, they're willing to do a second show. Like, they're even willing to expand the tickets for the first show and book a second show the same day if we need to. And so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on down there, guys. And when I got excited, JD, when I saw that promo that he shot, that Donnie Baker shot, I started dying laughing. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be stupid.
Yeah, I can't wait to release all that stuff. Let these guys see it. We're going to promote it. And I think this show is going to sell out quickly. I really do. And I think we'll end up adding another second show. But it's pretty cool that we got something like this. The Just Add Bourbon podcast has something like this coming to Martin County. It's cool. I hope it's something we can continue to do, man. Like, and bring our community together and bring money from outside this county into the county and have a great time, man, and a great night. And really looking forward to it.
Ain't nothing better than laughter.
I'm going to tell you right now, these guys better bring their A game because I'm bringing some funny material and I plan on killing. So they better
JD's laying the gauntlet down. You hear that, Donnie Baker, Johnny Lee, and Chris? JD is bringing it.
All my 3 minutes I get.
You don't come into JD's house.
That's right.
Yeah, but no, it's going to be fun, JD.
Excited. I am excited.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're pumped about it. Ain't nothing better than laughter, and having a good time and getting to laugh at some funny stuff. You all right?
I'm okay. I got a little excited right there.
Oh yeah, I love it. But no, I'm looking forward to it. So, JD, let's jump into some topics here this week. I want to kind of start with this one. There's been all kinds of weird, like controversial topics this week. And so let's kind of start with that. The first one I want to go with is the people who make Mr. Potato Head, I guess that's Hasbro, have decided they're going to change the name of the Mr. Potato Head doll or whatever to just Potato Head. And people have lost their minds. I mean, they're ever-loving minds. If you go on Twitter or anywhere else, people have just lost it that you would take the Mr. off Potato Head. So I'm going to let you go first. Like, what do you think about that?
So, I mean, like, here's what I think about it, honestly. I never woke up ever one day in my entire life and like, you know what? Like, that was pretty good theme music for me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I've never woke up one morning in my life and thought, I hope they don't change the name to Mr. Potato Head today because it's really going to take my life.
Right.
I've never done that one time. I've never. So, no, to me, it's not a big deal. Obviously, I know people were tore up about it, bro. Like,
tore up?
Like Soup Bean Sandwich tore up. Like, they're
yes.
Tore up. And I don't know, man. Like, it ain't a big deal to me. And honestly, from what I understand it, Hasbro didn't even change the name of Mr. Potato Head himself. Like, I guess Mr. Potato Head was like the umbrella that the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head was under. So Mr. Potato Head is still alive, still a real thing. And Miss Potato Head is still a real thing. But I guess the parent company over top of those two is now just Potato Head or whatever.
So is it true that the reason they changed it is because of gender identity, or did they just change the name? Because that's what everybody's losing their minds about.
Yeah, I've not read that. I don't know, really. But I'll tell you what they're doing. I think these companies continue to do, and the people on the right are just continue to be suckers for it, is that they just want to get their name out there, man. It's just a matter of causing a frenzy, and it's they're pushing this product, and they don't even realize they're giving the publicity to this product. About when's the last time you thought of Mr. Potato Head, bro?
Never, dude. Not since Ashton and Addison were 2.
Right. But now we're having a conversation about it. So it's a brilliant marketing.
It's genius, yeah. No, like my reaction was this, JD. I was like, number one, how's the best way to say this? If you get upset and it ruins your day in any way, so much so that you have to go to Twitter and argue with people, then
how miserable are you?
Seriously, like you got other problems. You got bigger problems than that, because it's a non-issue when it comes to that. I could care. I'm like JD. I've never once in my life woke up and thought, God, this is a problem that Mr. Potato Head is called Mr. Or if they change the name, I'm going to get tore up. I've never in my life thought that. Also, if the company, if Hasbro did this because of gender identity or whatever, I think that's silly too. Yeah. Like what? There's just some things you don't have to mess with. But I think you're right. I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's a marketing scheme. Everybody and their brother on one side or the other. Now you're either never going to buy Mr. Potato Head, but there's a whole bunch of people who are going to go buy it, and they probably had a sales slump and they need some sales, and they'll come up with some other genius marketing thing down the road, to boost sales. So I think you nailed it.
Yeah, it's funny to me that people continue to fall for it, though.
Yeah,
it's just an emotional reaction, knee-jerk reaction. Think about what you're doing, and use a little bit of critical thinking, and they don't care. Nobody cares if he's Mr. Potato Head. I've never heard one person be offended by it. And guess what? Hasbro knows that. They're not stupid people. What they do know is that now people are going to have a conversation about their toy, and their toy is going to see a spike in sales now. Absolutely.
No, absolutely. And the one that I don't know why I thought of this, but I did. And I was like, so, for the people that are upset, and maybe I would, right here, Uncle Dewey. To quote Hillary Clinton's response to Benghazi, what difference does it make? LOL. I think he just likes to give you a hard time, JD.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like we could hold her accountable for anything. She went in office when she took to court for it.
Well played. Come on, guys, just get Coke and be less white. We're going to get there, Chris. Don't you worry. But no, I just thought that was kind of nonsensical. It was just one of those things. And I went through and read a couple of threads. People were losing their minds, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Arguing with each other. It was really entertaining for me. I'm
Absolutely.
So,
I almost made a Facebook post, but I did refrain myself. You know what? I'm gonna let this one slide. I'm just gonna let this.
Yeah. Well, JD's Facebook post also entertained me. So it's I don't know. I don't know why I enjoy but it really I don't take it seriously. So I find it interesting to watch.
I always see people's they put this thing on there, about watching two strangers argue on Facebook. And I always comment, "You're welcome," because I know you're exactly talking about my post.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. I actually did have somebody say this and said, "Well, wait till they come out with a Barbie doll that has a Ken bottom." And I thought, well, that would be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that my children are grown up now. They don't play with Barbies anymore. I might from time to time. I'm just saying, like to dress them up, cut some hair. I don't know. I thought. That's a whole. That to me is a whole other thing than Mr. Potato Head. Do you agree?
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
So, all right. So let's get to this Coke thing. And surprisingly enough, I have not heard about this. So JD is going to break the Coca-Cola thing down.
So apparently, Coca-Cola had some diversity training, and so a part of the training told their employees that they need to be less white because less white meant, you was privileged or you looked down on others and stuff like this. And so now people are losing their mind about Coke because now it's something else to be offended by. Oh, was I talking about the right? Did I say that about the right? I take it back, guys. The right doesn't get offended by anything. I forgot. Hold on. Apparently, Coca-Cola had some training to their employees, how to be less white, which is a bunch of rubbish. It's garbage. And so now people are all up in arms, and they got the Coca-Cola bears on the Facebook post saying, we don't know how to be less white, but we know how to drink less Coke. And so, people were that's the pushback from those people to Coca-Cola, and that's still Coke.
I mean, let's be honest, fellow white people, we're not cool. We've never been cool, unless you're JD. I mean, it's again, that's silly. Unless I say that's silly, but let's just play, right? This is what we do, so let's just play. If they were coming out and saying, "Hey, let's be less white," we don't want to be like white people because they're privileged. I will again argue, come to Eastern Kentucky and tell me how privileged we are. And you got a lot of Coca-Cola drinkers here, in Eastern Kentucky. It's the freezers are always stocked, or the refrigerators are always stocked in these gas stations with Coke products. The thing is, at some point, JD, we are white men who are apparently privileged. If people keep attacking us, at some point it's going to get serious. You know what I'm saying? Like if they keep attacking the white race and that we're privileged, at some point it's going to get serious.
Sure, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean there is actually a stopping point for all this. I think it's important to note that Coca-Cola actually this wasn't part of their core curriculum. This was training they offered online on LinkedIn via LinkedIn. That was like if people wanted to have more diversity training, they could go do it. I feel like, of course, only half the story's been told. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
and so I feel like it's taking a mountain or molehill and turning it into a mountain. But I also feel like you that there comes a point when enough's enough, man. Like, I'm not proud to be white because I have nothing to do with it. I just am. You know, I'm not proud to be tall, but you know, I'm 5'11", whatever. We can't help it, man. We're not victims, and we're not privileged because of our skin color. We're not, you know, especially here in Eastern Kentucky. But I understand that I do recognize that, you know, race is the obstacle that I've had to overcome in my life because I am white, and just because I happen to be born that way. It's just the same thing with being American almost. You know, I just happened to be born here. You know, and I was, you know, fortunate to be born here. Don't blame me because of it. You know, don't punish me because of it. And, you know, I think that's the problem people get. But I think we're a little bit – it's always funny, though, to me that, you know, these people are always like, oh, these people are so offended. And then somebody says something about Mr. Potato Head or Coca-Cola, and they're offended. The first thing, you know, and it's just funny.
Sure. And no, and well, that's a great point. And it's one of those things where, too, you know, I hear it all the time, and I say this all the time, that the powers that be want to segregate us by race. That's how they keep us divided. Whereas, like you said, dude, I had no choice in being white. I didn't have any choice in it. Just as a black man, I had no choice in being black. He was just born that way.
Right.
You know, I get it. We're all Americans at the end of the day. Let's just get along. Let me see what James Guest had to say here. I haven't put his up in a while. Just so sick of this black and white issue. It ain't okay to say to be a little less white, and ain't okay to say be a little less black. This double standard has to stop sometime, or it's going to cause some serious problems. And he ain't wrong.
I agree with all that, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so at some point,
James, you actually said something well thought out, man. Very kudos to you.
But no, James is right, though, because at some point, we have to identify ourselves as Americans, not as white, black, human beings. We're humans, maybe not even Americans. If you want to go in a world perspective, we're human beings. None of us chose that are alive today to be black, white, purple, pink, whatever we are. None of us chose that. We were just born this way. All of us are trying to just get by, trying to make a living, trying to support our families, trying to make our kids' lives better than ours were. And, you know, and everybody, I bet you could, whether you're black or Hispanic or whatever, I guarantee we all have the same issues. It does not matter. And so when stuff like this comes up, like I can see why people get irritated by it. But again, it's just another one of those issues for me. I'm just not that guy that's going to go and argue about it on Twitter. I'm just not. I got too many other things going on. Absolutely. And, you know, to go, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe people are just bored. You know, I don't know.
I definitely think that's the thing, for sure. We've got it really good, man. We have it really, really good. You know, even as we talk about our struggles in Eastern Kentucky, we still, man, we have it pretty damn good compared to a lot of the world.
Well, we do. 100% we do. We do live in the most blessed country in the world. We truly do, you know. And I think, and that's the problem I have with a lot of the I guess, the stuff or the outrage on the left, for example. And a lot of that's blown up, you know, too. And a lot of the stuff on the right's blown up. But we live we truly live in one of the best countries in the world. Our freedom and the things that we have the ability to do. The fact that JD and I can get on this, you know, on Facebook and YouTube and debate topics and just have fun. You know, we live in a great country, and people ought to realize that. Let's see what Mr. Rundle had to say here. We are watching the world change in front of us. It's crazy, the disruption in life we are witnessing. Agree or disagree? It's frustrating. I agree, it's frustrating. And I agree that we are seeing we could be. Like, if we don't get out of this and get out of the COVID stuff soon and get back to normal life, then I'm seriously going to start questioning what we're doing here. Because, like, just not the fact that our kids are not back in school 5 days a week, full time, based on the science right now, is a problem to me. And the teachers' unions in a lot of these states are an issue, because their teachers are saying they don't want to, you know, they don't want to go back to school. They're humans. The science does not support that you cannot go back to school. The science does not support it.
You know, the CDC said that for months, right? I mean, when Trump was still in office, I know that the CDC was saying these kids should all be back in school. Go ahead.
Yeah, and they should. You know, when Trump was on CPAC today, he was talking. I was listening to it a little bit ago while we were down Tips, and that was one of the things. Look, and he was saying that the science says go back to school. Here in Eastern Kentucky, where we live, go back to school.
Yeah, a lot of people are, though. You know, Scott County, you know, in Georgetown, they're back in school 5 days a week.
And I have no problem, JD, with if they want them to wear masks and do whatever for a period of time. But I know Ashton says it's miserable. When they go back because they're not allowed to talk to each other, not allowed to sit together in the lunchroom. And I hate to tell you people, the people in administration, I hate to be controversial here, but they are right on top of each other every day. I hand to you Friday night, I dropped my daughter off at a house where JD's daughter was at. There were 15 girls there laying right on top of each other, and these are the kids that go to school. These kids aren't social distancing anyway. So get them back in school, and let's quit raising a generation of idiots.
I didn't bring this up to you. I forgot about it. We went to the ball game the other day, and Ashton went there. I looked at her and I said, is she quarantined again? Yeah. That's always my first thought. It's like, is Ashton quarantined again?
Poor kid. She truly, if nobody knows this, we've talked about it, but she's been quarantined 6 times and never had coronavirus. Not one time. And has been, quarantined 6 different times. It's insane. I feel so sorry for her. And let's see what Rundle followed up with her. I don't think it'll be normal for years. So much tension from everyone, not only from COVID, but from the disruption in life in general. What do you think about that, JD?
Well, okay. So I'll address this a little bit. So he's talking about the disruption in life in general. And I think he's getting into maybe the social aspect of, these people being, these demographics of our society who have been oppressed for years. Man, I feel like some of this disruption is justified. There have been people who have been downtrodden in this country. This country hasn't always treated everybody fairly, and that's just the facts. I mean, it's just the way it is. So some of this disruption is justified. That some of these people are moving up in our society and getting equality, and I some of this disruption may be uncomfortable for some of us, but some of us deserve this disruption. Some of us need this disruption to bring equality about.
I think it's well said, JD. Dewey says after an adult has had both doses of one of the vaccines, do you think it's safe for that person to return to normal activities? JD, I'll let you answer that.
I mean, the by and large of Dewey's way I understand it is they don't know yet, which is weird for me to say a vaccine is 97% effective, but you still got to wear your mask and you still got to social distance. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, honestly. But I feel much more comfortable with people having the vaccine and going back to normal life than I do without them having the vaccine and trying to live life like there's no virus out there.
Let's see. I can agree somewhat, JD, with what you said. So, and Rundle's pretty hardcore to the right. So, JD, you're reaching people. We're coming together. We're bringing people together. So, I want to speak on a topic. I've been waiting all week to talk about this, and JD didn't even know about it. So, I'm going to break this down. And I heard this on KSR, so I don't want to take credit for it, but this is where I first heard it. Okay. So, apparently, there was this mom. She got laid off from work. And she started a fans only page. Okay. And if you don't know what a fans only page is, it's a paid site. It's like a paywall site where you can go in and normally it's like risque photos, things like that. Well, this woman started doing this, and at last count, she was making $150,000 a month. Yes, doing this. JD's like, I'm absolutely going to start one of these.
Ask me the question.
But no, So she was getting paid all this money, right? And her husband even quit his job. He was the one taking the pictures.
Sure.
And so her kids go to a Catholic school. And somehow it got out that she had this fans only page. And the Catholic school kicked her kids out of school. So, of course, a scorned woman, right? Hell hath no fury.
Right.
She... I guess they never said what exactly happened, but 2 days later, the athletic director of the school gets fired and his kids get kicked out of school. So you can only surmise, it never came out for this, but you can only surmise that he was a customer. And she probably told, right? Well, where are you kicking my kids out? This guy's paying for my site.
Right.
And so question one, and we'll get to the important question, but question one is, do you think that it's fair to punish the kids, even if it's a religious school, to punish the kids for the action of the parents?
So here's the problem, man. And And it's just like, if you go on a website or if you sign up for a contest or, go to a private school, you got to abide by the rules. And you sign an agreement, terms and conditions. And if those terms and conditions say you can't be a part of any lewd conduct or something like that, then they absolutely are within their right to punish those kids and kick them out of school. I really feel that way.
So do you think, though, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know either, but do you think that the parents have to sign that agreement, or do you think just the kids have to sign that agreement?
I would say both. All these schools.
You think so?
I would think so. There's going to be a code of conduct for the parents and the kids in that respect, I would imagine. I imagine if it's a private school, it's a discretion, right, Chris? That's what I'm saying. There's another case where a woman who was a diesel mechanic who started a fans only page, and she ended up losing her job over it. And what's your opinion on fans only pages, Jimmy Don? Anyway, do you have an opinion?
Not really. It's one of those things. If you can, post some pictures and get paid that much money for doing it, why not? And, if you've got the money and you're taken away from anybody, obviously if you're a married man, you probably shouldn't be doing that anyway. But I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily
there's a situation like the guy's taking pictures of his wife and posting them on there. Obviously, he doesn't have a problem with it. He's making bank based on that. So, to me, it's a profession. They're making money, they're getting paid. They're somewhat what celebrities. If she's making 150 G's a month, she's obviously doing very well. She's probably, but it's weird, man. Because I've got people on my Facebook and who have fans only. They're always putting their links on there. And it's weird because you can barely know somebody, but you can see what their butthole looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. When I first heard the story, I thought if you're right and what you're saying is that the parents had to sign a code of conduct as well, it being a private school, it is what it is. Right. And you knew it when you signed or maybe you didn't. Most people don't read that stuff, but I don't see punishing the kids, but and all the school really did by this getting public is that woman's probably making $250,000 a month now. Yeah. And so, and I'm sure there were other people in that community. What is this? Oh, look, Rundle's agreeing with you all over the place.
You've been drinking on that, Rundle.
Yeah. But I just don't think you necessarily punish the kids. I'm not, I don't know. He may be saying JD. He always called me JD, so he may still be agreeing with me, Jason Dameron. But no, I don't know. I just don't see that you punish the kids myself personally. Those kids didn't do anything. If you want to, I could even see maybe fining the parents or doing something, saying, "Hey, if this doesn't stop, then you need to at the end of the school year, your kids will need to go." But it's like that song Harper Valley PTA. They start ratting on everybody.
And that's probably, it sounds like that's what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like happened, is that she got pissed. They took her kids out of school and started
down, taking some people with me.
You're all going with me. So the main question, though, and audience, those that are commenting, is should JD, JD's technically a single man, would you pay to fans only JD page, ladies?
What about ladies? I'll give y'all a minute to let me give you a exclusive of the goods here.
Hold on, I'm going off right now. I'm stopping the podcast.
This thing's going
yeah, or at least I'm going away. I don't want to see any of that. But no, like I said, dude, there's 1,000 ways to make money, especially with the internet. And if she's hot and somebody will pay $10 a month to see her picture, who am I to say?
We need to catch up in that aspect of society. A job today isn't like a job was, 50 years ago. The internet has changed the game, man. Being an influencer on Instagram, it's the job. Those people are full time. That's what they do. These fans only, some of them full time. That's what they do. They make a good living at it. And
you've got YouTubers like JD and I've been messing with YouTubers that get paid, dude. That's all they do.
Right. The lady is pretty good looking. What does the butthole look like?
Yeah. No, but didn't
looks like everybody else's.
I thought you might have known because I thought you made a poster or you shared a meme or something like that along that line. I thought I read. So I thought you might have known.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was I thought that was interesting this week. I thought that's kind of crazy. That's a good topic for our show.
Yeah. That's why I said, I was like, you can barely know somebody and have their fans only page, but barely know them and know what their butthole looks like.
Right. All right, so let's get on
Vote
to
Taylor Ho. No, I'm just kidding.
So I see no votes for a fans only page, JD. So I'm sorry. But, ladies, if you decide, that's what JD should do, let him know. He would gladly make $50 a month. So, doing that.
Okay, so let's hypothetical. How much do you think you can make if you had a fans only page?
Oh, nothing. Nobody's want to see this.
I would absolutely go bankrupt for sure.
Yeah, I'd be paid. It would cost me money for setting it up and all that. Nobody wants to see this. I mean, poor old Amy, I feel sorry for her. It's like I told you, yeah, she knows. So, but no, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So let's talk about some more serious stuff this week. And one thing I did want to bring up is our Cats. They ended up getting beat by Florida yesterday. Looked great against Tennessee last week. Didn't get to play because of COVID this week, and then get popped by Florida, which was actually a pretty good game. All the way down to the end, they just got beat. Did you watch it, JD?
I did not. But I know it puts us in a bad situation, right, as far as the SEC seating goes.
Yeah, because we had it. We were set up, dude, on that bottom bracket. Like, it was exactly what I said it would be. Is we were away from Alabama. We were down with the teams that we can beat all the way to the finals before you get to Bama. And Florida was on the other side, anybody you had to worry about. So that kind of hurts, man. I said I was hoping we could pull that one off. And they had said Cal was trying to schedule a game with like a top 25 team if we had won, just to try to help build the resume a bit because we were getting better. But we're clearly better, and we're better when Jackson's in the game. If Jackson can stay out of foul trouble, we're tough. But otherwise, I don't know. So, all right. So the other thing that happened this week, and I told JD earlier when we were kind of going over the topics, is I come an ace of saying this right after Biden got elected president, and then I didn't because I didn't want to be too controversial or anything like that. But we bombed Syria this week. Apparently, maybe some Iranian, stronghold areas, that kind of thing. And JD, what did you think about that? About us, bombing Syria?
I did make a post about this, and I feel the same way that I felt, a year and a half ago when Trump bombed Syria. I feel like we should be going through the direct channels and using our Congress the way it's supposed to be used before a president bombs anybody. Now they can say retaliatory. He has this retaliatory action he can take. But guys, we got to rein in the president's power. The office of the president has way too much power, and we need to rein it in starting today. I mean, it's really getting out of control. It's really concerning, especially when you're in a situation like you are now. Not with Biden, but I obviously think Biden's going to end up being a good president. But with there's no checks and balances really. His party has control of all three branches of the House, the Senate, and the White House. So I feel like it's imperative that we somehow, some way, find a way to rein in the power of our presidents.
I agree with that 100%, man. I said because it is just out of control. The fact that Biden could do 40 some odd executive orders, the fact that he could bomb a country, the fact that, and it without any regard for the House or for the Senate, it's just.
And Trump did the same thing. Exactly.
They all do the same thing.
Right,
that's
absolutely.
The thing. It's not. That's really not a bipartisan thing, in my opinion.
Absolutely
I think
not.
if you're an American and you're concerned about our country and the power that our president wields, and you don't want your president to be a dictator, this is something that has to happen. It's like JD would say it all the time about Trump. Trump's a dictator, and I was saying it about Biden because of all the executive orders. The fact that we can each say that about the others is bad. Because when JD can criticize the Republican president and I can criticize the Democratic president for the exact same thing, which is, in our opinion, abuse of power, that's a problem. And people need to figure that out. I'm with you 100%, JD. It needs to be reined in.
Yeah. And now, how do we do that though? Like,
I don't know. I only think that your elected officials in Congress can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they have to put the kibosh on him, political pressure. And basically say, look, this is done. Let's see here. It says Trump's going to launch a new super PAC to combat the liberal agenda. That's not surprising. Listen to him talk today. That's not surprising. But no, as far as that goes, I agree with that, JD. That I thought, look, bombing Syria, why? Number one, they're really a non-issue as far as I can tell, and maybe there was a good reason to do it.
Let's say there was a retaliatory thing. I guess
Yeah.
militants bombed a couple of guys in Iraq, like the barracks or something, killed a contractor, American contractor, injured a couple of servicemen. And they're saying it's retaliatory because I guess the place they bombed was supposedly a manufacturer for the Syrian military or whatever, Iraqi, or for the militia group out of
Iran. Yeah.
Out of Iran. Yeah. So,
well, here's another topic. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just feel like you can always say that. Oh, it's retaliatory. It's retaliatory, no matter how long ago it's been. And here's the problem I get though a lot, man. Like, had Trump done the same exact thing, we would have people all over going, man, Trump, by God, he's got the balls, don't he? And then Biden does is like, oh, this guy's a dictator. It's like, play it down the middle, man. It's always the same. No matter if that guy's a D, if he's R, play it the same.
I agree.
We got the checks and balances in place for a reason. If it's a strike that needs to be made, our Congress, I promise you, they will give you authority to do it. Let's take the time and do it right.
Yep, I agree. I agree with you 100%, JD. I think it's well said too. So I've been meaning. I wanted to bring this up last week, and then there was some other stuff that kind of happened, and that's Cuomo up in New York. Now I haven't heard any more or haven't read anything really since Friday, but it sounds like that dude's kind of in some trouble. Number one, it sounds like they were kind of hedging the numbers on the nursing home deaths and maybe weren't reporting them correctly or, whatever. And so he's definitely catching some heat from that, but he's also now there's a bunch of sexual harassment stuff. And that guy was like, here's the thing though, is that I found, and of course I was listening to a conservative thing when I heard this. Okay. So I want to preface it with that. It was a completely conservative website when I saw the video, but basically it was when the Me Too movement was going on. And Cuomo's sitting there just like lecturing Trump, right, in a press conference, like, it doesn't matter. Whatever they say, it's their truth. They're right. They're right. They're right. They're right. And then he gets these allegations brought out against him, and they're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. And again, it goes back to the hypocrisy of everything. And so it sounds like to me that he's actually in some real trouble. Like, I think he was trying to perch up for maybe a presidential run. His brother on CNN, the one they call, or Trump calls him Fredo, which I think is hilarious, but calls him Fredo. They don't even talk about it on the mainstream media. It has barely been on, if it's been on at all, on the MSNBCs, the CNNs, NBC, ABC, CBS. It has barely even been talked about. Right. And so that was another one of those. Again, it just kind of shows the hypocrisy. And like JD was saying, is no matter who it is, it's right down the middle. You need to call a spade a spade. And it looks like to me, JD, somebody who was really lecturing Trump about the Me Too movement is going to end up getting hammered.
Man, I got to be honest with you. I don't know a thing about this. I don't know. I've heard that the numbers, I didn't even know about the sexual harassment thing at all, or was it sexual misconduct? Mm-hmm. I didn't know anything about it at all. Never even heard that. I had heard that the way I understand it, they didn't give the right numbers. They lowered the numbers about the deaths in the
they lowered homes. The numbers. Like they misrepresented the numbers.
Right. So,
because he had
and if he did that, shame on him, man. It's not right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, JD. He had taken a lot of heat over the move with the nursing homes anyway. Yeah. And then he misconstrued the numbers. And that in itself is outrageous, but that's not what got him. It was the sexual harassment stuff that really started. Did you see that lightning behind me just now?
I did. I'll see it right here beside me.
Yeah. And that was the thing that really is going to get him.
Yeah. Like I said, I wish I could have an opinion on it because so I could give you one, but I don't know.
Well, that I was going to say, well, you're watching the wrong stuff, but I know that's not the case. JD's not been home; he's been working, so I can't blame him for that. I can't say it's because you watch CNN, JD. It probably is that if you were watching CNN because they ain't talking about it. But at the same time, JD ain't been home, so I can't hammer him on that one. So that, yeah, but I thought that I've been wanting to bring that up for like 2 weeks and keep forgetting. We get to talking and I forget.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the stimulus bill. And I think it's
yeah.
something that everybody, look, I'm looking to get, well, I won't get it. I say I've never gotten it before, but it's because I'm blessed is why. But the stimulus money, $1,400 for every American. If it's a family, you can, if each kid gets $1,400, I mean, it could end up being substantial what you would actually get.
Wow.
So like family of four, what you're talking $5,600 that you could get from the stimulus package. But my problem, JD, and look, for anybody that needs that's out of work, that hasn't been able to work, extending unemployment benefits, I support every single bit of that. I don't care if it was written by a Democrat or not. I support all that if somebody's in need. My problem with the bill itself is a couple of things, but the biggest thing is that bill is like however many billions of dollars. Less than 10% of it is for COVID. Less than 10% of it is for the stimulus. The rest of it is bailing out states, and this is the truth. It's Democratic ran states and Democratic ran cities that haven't managed their cities well. And those are facts. And that's in there. You've also, you're giving some money to these other countries, which is fine. We do that. And here's what I want to say, and JD, here's where I really kind of want to know what your opinion is. This is done by Republicans and Democrats alike.
Sure.
They throw pork in these things. They throw extra stuff in. If it was a Republican led Senate and House and a Republican president, they would do the exact same thing. But that don't make it right.
No, I agree.
Does it bother you that less than 10% of the package is actually for the stimulus and for COVID stuff?
Yes, it does. What really bothers me, man, is that we've waited so long. And like you was talking last week, being in Louisville, watching all those businesses close down, they were waiting until now to try to do these things. And you say what you want to. The Republicans had the House and or had the Senate for 2 years under Trump, and the Democrats have it now, and they're still playing political games with people's lives and people's livelihoods. And it's a shame that it's taken this long to even get that 10% or whatever it is. I hate that a bill can have so much pork in it, so many things added to it that you can't recognize what the bill is even about. I hate it. But I also, man, it's a quandary because I'm also against the line item veto. So like a line item veto, for those of you listening, is where they can take a bill and the president can go through line by line and mark out and veto the parts of it he don't like. I don't like that either because, again, I don't like a dictator. I like a president. So, man, it's tough. It's tough. I hate that we're there. I hate that we're to this point. I hate that we're spending just that percentage of the money on COVID relief. But also, man, like with the unemployment running out or extending unemployment stuff, because now you're incentivizing people staying at home.
It is tough.
I know these people. I'm just going to draw out this unemployment until it runs out.
I was talking to somebody the other day, somebody that I know well, that is a good worker, that said, look, dude, why would I go back to work right now? I make more sitting at the house than I do, at work. It's crazy, man. I mean, it's just crazy. You're incentivizing people not to work. Yeah.
And so it's just tough, man. Like, but we got to do something about our bills having so much nonsense in them. A COVID relief bill, even if it's that much money, it shouldn't have 1,500 pages worth of bill to read.
Oh, and that's the problem, JD, is like what they did was they brought it up, and like I said, you can blame it on the Democrats right now because it's the Democrats that control everything, and they're the ones doing it, right? But you could also, when Trump was in there, they played the same game. It wasn't, and that's my problem with it, it is a problem with our politics.
No.
Like they took this crazy bill, waited right to the last minute. There's no chance that anybody can read all that stuff. Right. And then they shove it through. Now, I'm all for it. If you want to do all these different things, okay, hey, we need to get this COVID bill done. We need to get it done. Okay, well, let's take only the COVID portion and let's get it through, get it voted for, get the money allocated where it needs to go. I'm for that 100%. Because there are a lot of people out there suffering. I saw it with my own two eyes, man. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm serious. It was so sad. Sad. It really was. Like, I couldn't believe it.
And I know we're just thinking about, these business owners. But, I mean, there's people working at those jobs that depend on those jobs too, man.
Yes.
Those people who had kids who now don't have – their parents don't work now,
No, their life's completely disrupted. No, it's okay. No, absolutely. But it was so sad to actually see it. Like, it's bothered me still. Like, it bothered me all week that, because here we are insulated. Living in the hills, we are 100% insulated to the real world. When the economy is on a high, we lag behind. But we never do, if you can see, we never do this. We always do this. Or we do this. It's never that. So we in the hills are really insulated to what's going on out in the world. Yeah. You go into one of these big cities and you go into a place like that and you actually see that, they're hurting. And so I'm okay with that. To tack all this other crap on it drives me nuts. Like I cannot stand it. And then if you want to bail out these cities, okay, if you want to do that, fine. If it needs to be done, fine. Let's take it in its own bill. Let's let everybody look at it and let's vote on it. Fine. Don't have a problem with that either. But when you're packing it all into this massive bill, again, the minimum wage thing, JD's in there.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
That scares me to death. Yeah, that scares me to death.
So here's the thing about the minimum wage. Like, when do we raise it? Do we ever raise it? Because have we raised it to keep up with the inflation rate? You know what the minimum wage would be right now? Like $21.
Like $24. Yeah, it's like 24.
Yeah. So when do we raise it if we don't raise it now? And what do we raise it to? So I think it's a tough question, a tough answer. Put Eric's comment up there. So I want to deal with this real quick. Essential workers got no incentive for having to take chances and work. I don't feel sorry for you, bro. You signed up for a job, do the job. These people are shutting their businesses down. People are losing work. Go to work. Don't want to go to work? Quit your job. I don't feel sorry for you, man. I've had to work every day. Don't like your job? Quit. I mean, I know it sounds harsh, like I'm an asshole. That's the way I feel. You took that job knowing what it paid. Just because other people got, some incentivized to because so they could stay home, so essential workers could go out and work. That doesn't make it unfair, man, to you because you signed up to do the job. So yeah, I don't feel sorry for you at all.
No, and I don't either. If you're an essential worker, it sucks. Like I haven't stopped working either.
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
Absolutely.
Because I haven't felt unincentivized.
You didn't get shut down.
Yeah, I don't feel unincentivized. I feel blessed. Like I feel really lucky because my business, if anything, has expanded. It became more efficient on accident.
And you're going to find better candidates for jobs, the way I understand it, right? Because of this.
Yeah, there's been a lot of benefit for a business like me, but there's a lot of most people aren't as lucky as me, lucky as JD, lucky as you, Eric, as far as to have a job that you got to go to every day and your life's really not disrupted. But I saw it with my own eyes and it blew my mind. Like I was like, oh my God, because you're right, JD. For every one of those businesses, if I saw 50 businesses shut down, there's probably 20 to 25 people at each of those businesses, in addition to the people who own it, that have no income right now.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Used to, man, when you sign up on unemployment and, before I'm talking about pre-COVID, you had to apply for so many jobs during the week to continue your unemployment. And that's all gone now too. So the incentive for work, man, has got to be there. But also don't want to see people starving. So it's a tough.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough middle ground.
It is tough middle ground. And I think that's the best way to say it, man. It's a tough middle ground to find. So we got like 10 minutes left, man. So I got. Have you watched WandaVision yet? I want to ask you, man.
I love WandaVision, dude. That's a great
Have you checked
show.
it out?
Yeah,
I knew. I was like, my boy Jimmy Don is going to have the inside scoop on some WandaVision.
It's great.
Is it really good, man?
Yes,
no, I'm not checking it out at all. I keep debating if I'm going to watch it or not.
No, you need to watch it. You will love it.
Right?
The first 3 episodes, they're only 30 minutes long. It's like The Mandalorian. They're only like 30 minutes long. And the first 3 episodes are kind of weird, right? Like it's not weird. It's just like, you're like, it's fun. Like it's cool to watch, but you're like, what is going on? You're like, what is happening right now? And once you get past that 3rd episode, like, it's like Leave It to Beaver, dude. The first 3 episodes are like watching Leave It to Beaver. It's like watching a 50s sitcom with Wanda and Vision. All right. And then
that sounds weird for sure.
Yeah, but then there's all this eerie stuff kind of going on. Like you can feel the menace in the background. Like there's something just not right. And then it picks up. And dude, it's awesome. Like I freaking love it. What about the new Lois and Clark TV series? I have not got to watch it. I taped it, James. But I'm a Superman freak, so yeah, I'm 100% watching that. And then Cindy is my love here. I love Cindy. It's so good. Binge until 4, right? So it is, dude. It is so good. And JD, what they're setting up with this, it's why the MCU is so genius, right? Why it's so good is they're setting up what's going to happen in the next Doctor Strange.
Okay.
And the next MCU, they're getting ready to build the next group of Avengers. And WandaVision is the beginning of this.
Gotcha.
And so it's going to be great, man. It's not going to be great. I got a show for you.
Okay.
And actually, Brad's the one that turned me on to it. It's called Suits.
Yeah, you talked about this last week.
Did I talk about Suits?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Tailor-made for me. You said it was tailor-made for me.
Oh, it's so good. And Meghan Markle's in it, right? Or the Duchess.
Sounds terrible already.
No, it's so good.
If you like big booties and stuff, whatever.
Suits is great. And the other one, did I talk about Designated Survivor?
No, my dad has told me that's a really good show.
It's a great show, too. Designated Survivor is a really good show. But no, Lois and Clark is my next thing as far as to sit down and watch because I love Superman. So that's my next thing. But WandaVision is phenomenal.
Also, did see they named the new Spider-Man. Give it, its a subtitle. They do the so it's going to be Spider-Man No Way Home. I know you're a big Spider-Man fan. Like, what's the guy's name who plays Spider-Man now?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah. But okay, so there was Tobey Maguire. What was the middle guy's name? There was a guy. Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. Which one was your favorite?
I really like Tom Holland because he, to me, is Peter Parker from the comic books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he really is. Like, he's Peter Parker. He pulls it off. If you've read the comic books at all, he is. Yeah. Yes, I have, Chris, watched Titans on HBO.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. The other one that's really good is Swamp Thing. They canceled it after the first season, but it was great.
There's a show? They made a show out of it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. Do you remember the movie?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, I guess it was?
Yeah.
I remember when I was a little kid watching the Swamp Thing. So my ex-wife's uncle made one of the little things out of the swamp. I don't know what he called little pests in the swamp. But he got paid pretty good money for it. It was pretty
Really?
good. Yeah, but Swamp Thing, that was my jam back in the 80s.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's really good, and how they pull him off is really good too.
Yeah, I check it out.
Yeah, like the DC movies. We did a thing on the Small Town channel where we talked about, DC movies. We talked about Justice League because that comes out this month. Is that Justice League Snyder Cut? And it's 4 hours long. So, when the Justice League came out, people were like, oh, this sucks because essentially Zack Snyder's daughter died. And so he had to step away after post-production. So the movie studio brought Josh Whedon in, and they wanted it brighter and more poppy like a Marvel movie. And so half the movie is really dark and half the movie is this bright colored thing. So it just doesn't go together. Well, they also cut out like Dark Side and all that stuff. So it's 4 hours long, and it comes out like March 13th.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be watching that, bro.
Yeah. No, I'll watch it and then let you know. You might have to break it down. And then Cindy just threw up here. Do you guys watch Luke Cage? I watched both seasons of Luke Cage.
Is that like Mortal Kombat, Luke Cage?
No, he's a Marvel character.
Okay. What does he do?
He's strong. Like Luke Cage is a black dude, and he's just like a big, strong guy. He can tear. He's like JD. So
yeah, I'm with you, Chris, on that one. I love anything Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot
and Linda Carter ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
No, but no. What else was there? Something else I was going to tell you to watch that I thought was really, really good. But I don't know. But yeah, no, Suits. I've hit. I think I'm on season 2 of Suits, and it is great.
Yeah. Good deal, man. I've read a couple of books that I think y'all could check out. I think you'd like. Actually, you probably won't like the second one, but you'll like the first one.
I'd read it.
The first one's called The Promise of a Pencil. This guy was raised up Jew. He was moved over here. His parents moved over here. Had him. He's Jewish. Raised Jewish. Had all the access to the stock market world. The business finance. I mean, he was really going to make big time money for himself, and he ended up giving it all away to start building schools in third world countries. And he started a nonprofit organization called Pencils of Promise. And I think it's really cool, man. Like, I think anybody who likes reading biographies and stuff, I think you'd dig that. And I also actually listened to Pimpin'. It's by Iceberg Slim by Pimp. And it's not for the faint of heart or the weary of heart. Because, I mean, he talks about the game of pimping, man, and how he used to treat his women and all that. But it's really, really interesting to me. And, like, check it out. If you're into that kind of stuff, I'm all about pimping. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I was noticing your shirt, bro.
The 18.
I love it. Where'd you get that? Did you order that?
Yeah, I ordered it off 80stees.com.
Nice.
I got this one, a Cobra Kai shirt, and a Cobra Commander shirt. Because I'm a nerd. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? So, all right, guys, we appreciate you joining us. Hope you guys have had a good past week, and hope you have a great week coming up. We appreciate you starting your week with us. Don't forget, be on the lookout for the Donnie Baker Tease Week before tickets go on sale on Friday. And I can't wait for that, JD. So,
absolutely.
Of course, guys, you know where you can find us. iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Facebook. JD's running our social media now, and Podbean is where we launch the podcast from. And as we always end our show, from myself and from JD, no matter how bad your week's been, no matter how bad your day's going, if you just add bourbon, it always gets a little bit better. Thank you, guys. We'll see you all next Sunday.